All right, here we're on the episode 2 of the Peter Dellane Mortgage Show. And Peter, you want to start us off with some of the different things that you guys are offering and some of the different products that you like to kind of hammer in on and what you guys can service?
Sure thing. Thanks, Reed. The first thing I want to talk about is our 1% down conventional product that's only available on the wholesale side. It's it's a new product. We've been doing it for about 8 months now. It allows the consumer to get a 1% conventional loan with an up to 3% seller help, and it comes with with the lender paid mortgage insurance. It comes with a real reasonable rate. I mean, you could get it in some of the last locks that we did were in the mid 4s, if not a little bit lower. Craig, tell us a little bit about some of the aspects of the 1% down product.
Well, it's a great product. How they're offering that, there are some counties where there are some income restrictions, but there's a list of counties out there, 7 or 8 counties in the state of Maryland that don't have any income restrictions whatsoever. It does require a 720 and above credit score, but it's really an excellent product. The bank basically gifts the 2% or grants the 2%, so the borrower instantly has 3% equity right after closing, and 2% of that is gift from the lender. So it's an excellent product. It does really well against FHA, so the borrower puts less into the transaction. It also doesn't have some of the overlays as far as building condition and that type of thing, so you could actually go into a short sale or something like that that may have some concerns with the actual home. And it's a 1% down conventional loan, so less out of pocket. It's just really a great product. We're seeing a lot of good traction off of it, and gives you instant equity right from the beginning.
All right, cool. Second thing I want to talk about real quick is FHAs. We're getting a lot of questions on contracts where agents think that we actually need to have a well and septic. And I know there's some language in the contract and stuff, and Craig, you're really good at that. Go ahead and let out what information you have on that regarding whether we do need well and septic or not. Go ahead, Craig.
There's a big misconception on that. So unless the appraiser specifically addresses a well and septic issue, which I cannot even remember the last time that happened, a well and septic inspection is not required. Some of the underwriters and lenders out there believe that it is because the verbiage is kind of in a gray area. But basically, I actually called HUD and got them to send me an email specifically what they're looking for on it. So it indeed does not have, it's not a requirement out there. So unless the appraiser specifically addresses a problem, a well and septic inspection is not required for the lender.
Okay, and one other thing I wanted to talk about is the farm. Is it the farm we have closing this week, or the property with a lot of land? Go into a little bit of detail about some of the issues that we were able to get approved. And we're not saying that this is, the type of loans we do all the time, but with the wholesale products, we're able to get some things done that you wouldn't normally get closed up. And I know that's not one of the topics, but it just came to my mind when you were talking about that. And that's the one that's, I believe, is settling Friday. Craig, tell us a little bit about what's going on with that one.
Well, it's a 40-acre hobby farm that is an REO property that has been vacant for several years. And obviously, it's my understanding there might have been some untoward things going on in that house for the last couple of years. So obviously the house is not in tip-top shape. So one may have expected that to be subject to certain repairs. And we actually got a clean approval on that and are getting that closing this Friday. So that's where we are with that one.
Okay, sounds good. I wanted to also talk about an email that came in last Friday, Friday the 23rd, that I'm sure as an agent you probably come across this every once in a while. I actually was sitting on the deck with my wife. My wife's an agent, and she received an email about a settlement she had the following Friday. This email came in at 6:42, and it says, Lori, a few issues have come up with the condo. And it goes into, and it's interesting because the lender is going to the listing agent opposed to actually going to the management company to get these things solved and taken care of. One point was pending litigation, special assessments, hoping that she could get him a flood map of the property, make sure it has adequate flood insurance. 7 days prior to close. This is not something that I believe an agent should be responsible for taking care of. But you know, and what happened was, what we did is we got involved to help out on that deal. And Craig, tell us a little bit about some of the issues we've had in the past with that condo. I don't think it's necessary to actually go into the condo's name, but also what we provided this loan officer from DC so he can actually close this deal on time. And we did get it to close on time. So, but I thought that was a really a typical scenario that a realtor gets, and I hear about it all the time. You guys as agents have this stuff come up, and tell us a little bit about what you did in the past and what we did to get this loan officer so it would close on time.
Well, we've closed at least a half a dozen in that particular complex over the last year or so, and there were some issues with pending litigation due to some prior construction concerns and that type of thing. There's also special assessments that are on there. Basically, they rebuilt the entire complex due to a stucco issue. But the property was pending HUD approval. We were actually able to get with HUD to confirm that they would still indeed approve the condominium complex. So it's HUD approved. It's still able to go with that. Again, we've closed a half a dozen or so of these things, and we've been able to overcome those issues. And most of that stuff is behind them. The litigation is behind them, and it's all covered by the insurance. So we were able to help out a little bit there and get that one to closing for them.
And that absolutely would not have closed without us jumping in and helping out with that one. And we're going to get going here with one more. We also had another condo in Western Maryland in Deep Creek, where one of my former borrowers from 10 years ago tried to get a loan through the credit union. The credit union turned him down. She gave me a call. One little tweak to the loan, and how many days later, Craig, did we close that loan?
It was a couple weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, something like that. It was very quick.
2.5 weeks. We were able to just make one little tweak to the loan, get the appraisal pulled over, and we moved it to close. And that was in Deep Creek. And that's one of the benefits of how we as lenders are, increasing realtors' income per hour by having them spend less time. I want to throw out real quick one little tip. I have the ability to get, if you're going on a listing appointment, or if you want to know what somebody owes on a home, if you give me a call and give me the address and the name, I can give you what they owe on the property probably within 20 seconds. So if you're going on a listing appointment, you're concerned maybe there might be 1 or 2 or 3 or they're upside down a little bit, and you want to know, just pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'll be able to give you that answer what they owe on the property in no time.
So we covered a lot of great material there. Peter, if somebody has some more questions for you about the specific topic or maybe some of the other products, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Just give us a call. It's 410-827-5111, or they can give me an email at peter@abilitymortgagegroup.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Perfect. Well, that'll wrap up this episode, and we will talk to you guys on the next one. Thanks so much.